Hey, this is Joe from Citrus County Porch Life bringing you the AA Word of the Day. And the word for today, February 6, 2025, is a rallying point. Therefore, step 2 is the rallying point for all of us, whether agnostic, atheist, or former believer, we can stand together on this step. And that quote is from the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions of Alcoholics Anonymous, page 33. And here's the daily commentary. I feel that AA is a God inspired program, that God is at every meeting, AA meeting. I see, believe, and have come to know that AA works because I have stayed sober today. I am turning my life over to AA and to God by going to an AA meeting. If God is in my heart and everyone else's, then I am a small part of the whole and I am not unique. If God is in my heart, He speaks to me through other people, then I must be a channel of God's love to other people. I should seek to do His will by living spiritual principles, and my reward will be sanity and emotional sobriety. Well, everything that author says is certainly true. I can give you my attitude on coming into AA. I would never in a million years admit it, but I was a very concrete thinker, especially, when I was in a contrarian mood. In other words, a concrete thinker. And I used to do this on admissions to the hospital, trying to see what mental faculties people had. And I would say, explain to me a stitch in time saves nine. Meaning, if I repair a problem quickly, it won't get any bigger. And we kind of say concrete people are people who can't think in the abstract, so they wouldn't be able to come up with an answer for that. Now, with AA, and up to that point, my constant attempt to find a way to drink in safety, I took a very concrete attitude. I would not think of all the people who were saved by AA, but I'd think of all like the movie stars who died of alcoholism. In fact, on YouTube, every once in a while, a thing comes up, a video of all the heavy drinkers in AA, and I think it makes it my way because I look up things about alcoholism, and so that they see I might be interested in the kind of video, and so I would say, well, if it was such a great program, why the heck wouldn't it work all the time for everybody? And then I get the attitude, well, why bother going? If it doesn't work for everyone, what's the sense of the program? It's just uh, roll of the die whether I'll get it or not. Never thinking that many times the people that don't get it are the people that cannot be rigorously honest, those who are incapable of it. It would kind of be like someone, the substrate that they use for the first polio vaccine. Well, I imagine They gave that out to millions and millions and millions of people, and I was one of the first grade kids that got it. But suppose someone was allergic to it and it didn't work for them, or they had complications. Well, think of all the lives that soul saved, and I would not have criticized that program, but that's what I did with AA before I joined. Before I joined, because I always say after a few years in the program, I've said, I got into AA the day before I died. And I like to think of that way. That's how imminent it was to me, my own death. Um, and I only have to look at my younger brother who, who did die. And had he not drank that night, had he not gone out for whatever reason, no one's ever figured it out, he would never have fallen and froze to death. Uh, but even his death doesn't mean that he hasn't worked for millions and millions and millions of people, brought, brought back together families, friends, let people live productive lives, happy lives, God centered lives, not the egotistical life of an alcoholic. You know, so that was one of the big turning points when I got away from that concrete thinking, and I thought like that, even knowing what concrete thinking was. So my head was messed up. I can remember sitting at the meeting and going over step one, and they're talking about John Barleycorn, rapacious creditor, this and that, and I was just like, oh man, this is heavy stuff. And looking around, and I was a little more attentive the next week, and a little more the next week, and finally it sunk in my thick head, what was going on, and it's the same thing about this uh, step two. Came to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me to sanity. And thank God he has. Well, some people may think not, but I do really believe I'm pretty sane now. So that's my take on this. It's fun going through step two. It's fun starting at the beginning and then going through the whole thing. It gives you a different perspective. I started this in July, so it must have been step 7. July is month 7. You got 12 step, 12 months. And the way the daily reflections is step a month. So, but that's perfect. That lets you do an in-depth study of each step. You really get to know it and see how it leads to the next step and how it proceeds from the previous step, because they're all linked together. So, as I said, God bless and see you tomorrow. Have a safe and sober day.